guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope all of you are healthy and safe and well. You know what I'm gonna say. If you're not already subscribed, pause the video and press subscribe down below. Along with that, hit the bell notifications link so you know when a new video is going live. Okay, so today we're just gonna do a little chit chat story time type situation. Many of you know I am very pregnant, so moving around a lot is getting less and less doable. So I wanted to just do something to engage with you guys and kind of just chit chat with you all. So you guys left a bunch of topics that you would want me to speak about or just, you know, randomly chat on Instagram. So I wanted to start with this one. I am getting work done in the house. So if you hear random drilling, that is why. Also, Harp is sleeping. So at some point she's gonna wake up. So you may hear her as well. But I didn't want to use either of those two things as an excuse not to record a video and just connect with you guys. So we're going to do it anyway because it's regular life and it's stuff happening, and that's just that. So the video I wanted to do today was kind of a story time of how I got where I am, how I started my business, how all of this came about. So I guess I will start at the beginning, and if you guys are new here, I'll just share a little bit about myself. My name is JaLisaEVaughn Jefferson. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I went to school in Syracuse, New York at Syracuse University and graduated with an information management and technology degree from Syracuse in 2015. From there, I was recruited by a job here in Dallas, Texas that brought me here. I worked at HP for almost 3 years in one of their newer departments, which was like geared towards millennials, but basically like a department that we would show them how we get things done way better, faster, easier, and connect with people on a different level. So I had a massive client there, which I don't know if I ever shared that. Well, I had a client there and I did business with them and basically helped them optimize their IT processes. So everything from staffing bodies for different manufacturing warehouses to actually building systems or contracting to build whole systems to eliminate bodies. So you guys know how, like, for an example, a Procter & Gamble has a million different products. They have those warehouses where they have the humans who do the processing and like the, what is it called? Like they're, like in their warehouses, the product's getting made. Well, like we would build, yes, but we would build the systems to where they would no longer need the humans. We would build the IT programs for them to no longer need the humans to do those things. It would be a machine that would get done 5 times as much in half the time. So those are the type of things I did, or just sharing like we can optimize this process by scaling to this and doing all this stuff. Anyways, that's what I did for a living. And on the side, I would do blogging and influencing and things like that. Back then, influencing was not a thing. I come from a family of preachers and pastors. So when Instagram came about, I just enjoyed encouraging people and sharing my life and what I was doing in different outfits, even though they were kind of crusty back then, and just sharing my life. People always were like, you're gonna be a preacher just like your mom and just like your grandma. And I was just like, I don't mind ministering, and that's what I love and that's where my heart is, but I don't see myself doing that from a pulpit. I don't see myself preaching you know, on a platform and like doing all the hooping and hollering and all that kind of stuff. I said, you know, I feel like God has called me to ministry, but in a different capacity. So I kind of started doing that online by just encouraging and inspiring and sharing my life, the good, the bad, the ugly, and just different things that I felt comfortable sharing, which kind of morphed into this. So I kind of fell into it in a way because I was doing it before it was a thing. And then while being here, I would start going to networking events in Dallas, and they would be like, oh, like you have 50,000 followers. How much do you charge for a post? And I'm like, charge for a post? Like I get a free cute outfit, free outfits here and there. But I don't charge for a post. So I started doing a little digging and seeing that people were like literally full-time influencers by sharing and promoting different businesses with less than half of the following that I did or that I had. So I was like, okay, maybe I could make a you know, make this a thing and start making a few dollars from it. Never did I see it going full-time and scaling to where it is now, because it just wasn't there yet. Like, a lot of businesses were like, I don't know what this is, but I see you have a lot of followers, so can you just post this real quick? And I would do a lot of stuff for free just because I didn't know. So long story short, I was doing that on the side. I was really making it up as I went. I would be like, hey, my name's JaLisa. I'll charge $25 to post this. And they would send me the item. I would post it. They would Cash App me or PayPal me my little $25 and keep it moving. And then as I started growing, I started scaling to a point where I was actually making more from that than I was at my corporate job. And I had a good job. So, of course, then I was like, God, you know what I want to do full time. You know, I don't see myself working corporate all my life, but I had given myself like 5 to 10 years because I knew that that's kind of what it took to really figure out where everything was going. And I would pray about it. And there were days where I like called my mom crying, like, I hate corporate. I hate, you know, having to like put on for these other hues and like, you know, do 20 times as much just to be noticed in the room, you know, and then doing work and others getting the credit for it because, you know, they're a white male in this corporate world. It just was getting to me. So I was praying about it, and, you know, eventually God was like, you know, go ahead and take the full leap. Trust me, and we'll see what happens. So I did it. I saved up a lot of money, or enough money, I thought, to be able to cover if things didn't pan out the way I thought they would right away, and ended up taking the full leap. You guys saw the vlog.
Hello guys, I am on my new vlogging camera because I have some news for you all. I have officially quit my job and am now pursuing full-time blogging, influencing, all that.
Where I said, you know, I just quit my job. I don't know how this is gonna work. I don't know what's happening, but I'm just gonna trust God because I know what He told me. And I trust that, you know, if He told me that, then He's gonna figure out and show me the way, one step at a time, because He never shows you the full thing. He always shows you one step at a time. So I did that, and then I just was figuring it out. I was shooting with Marika. I was like, listen, I got a few coins. She had just started shooting, and she was doing social media for another brand and had just graduated. And she had started shooting bloggers and influencers. And again, it wasn't a thing then. So she was really just figuring it out too. So I started shooting with her, and I was like, can I come after? Or I was actually doing that while I was working, and I was going after work. So I would work from 7 a.m. to 5, hour commute to Dallas to shoot and do stuff, and then come back home and do it all over again. So there's no excuse if you're corporate, BT dubs. You can figure out time, figure it out, make it work. Anyways, so I was doing that after work hours, and then when I went full time, I was like, I can shoot during the day now. We can figure this out, whatever. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to pose. I don't know how to do this. So she was like directing me on camera, like, do this, move here, walk this way. And we were really just figuring out how to build and our businesses together. So I was getting more and more campaigns, and it was growing. Of course, it was harder than I in my head thought, because from month to month, you don't know what's coming in. You don't know who's going to reach out. You don't know if they're going to want to pay or if they're going to want to exchange work. And at that time, I was like, I'm not that big, so I'm going to have to do some stuff for free to show them what I'm capable of. So I was doing some free work. And yeah, what happened after that? So yeah, was shooting with Marika. We were figuring it out. We had no idea what we were doing, but we were just making things happen. Fast forward, I posted that I needed a video editor. And you guys, when I started YouTube, y'all can scroll back and see how crusty these videos were. I was doing them on my phone. I had no idea about lighting or anything like that, but I was like, I know what God told me to do, and I know He's given me stuff to say and people to reach. So I'm just gonna put out what I can, and people will be able to see that growth. So if you guys scroll back and see those videos and how just choppy they were, you could hear stuff in the background. They were grainy and fuzzy, but we still did it. We still put out the work and just, you know, let things grow as they did. I didn't have the money for a camera. I didn't have the money for all of the fancy equipment. My apartment was this big, so I was just like literally cramming in a corner trying to record. But we did it. So I posted that I needed a video editor. And then that's when Anna, my now manager, reached out saying, you know, I work, but I know how to edit videos, so I can help you out on the side. What is your budget? I'm like, I got a couple cents. That's really it. She was like, all right, I could work with that. And she started editing my videos for me. Long story short, she was editing the vlogs, and she was like, I hear you talking about or complaining about you know, not knowing what to charge and not knowing, you know, how to read these massive contracts that, you know, that these brands are now sending out because of your growth. And just kind of heard that, like, I was low-key getting slighted by a lot because I didn't know what to charge. So I was charging these people pennies compared to what, you know, other white influencers or, you know, counterparts at the same level or even less than having a smaller audience than me were charging. So she was like, whoa, like, you're getting slighted. You know, if you have questions on contracts and things like that, I can help you out. So I was like, cool. Can you just take me on as a consultant, so when I get these brand deals in, you could just go over the contracts and pretty much just tell me what I should say, what I should charge. So from then, she took on my email, and she was doing the responding for me, and I was just paying her a flat fee per month to just manage my inbox and do stuff. Long story short, when she got doing stuff, I was like, whoa, we really can charge them that? Like, that's how this works? And she was growing my business a lot faster than I could have, because she knew the industry and she worked on the other side. She worked on the brand side corporately. So she just knew the ins and outs and like which brands really had money, which ones didn't, all that kind of stuff. So she was managing my inbox and helping me grow and scale. And from there I was like, could you just consider maybe taking me on as a client? Like, I know you have a full-time job. I know you have a lot of other stuff going on. She's another boss lady who does a bunch of things. So I was like, I know you have a lot going on, but can you take me on as a client just to fully manage me all together? She said yes. We did that for a few months. Long story short, my girl left her corporate job, and now she has a full-out agency of almost 50 clients, I think, and a wait list of God knows how many. And now she has a full-out talent management agency, CFG. So that's how that got started. That's kind of how everything got going, and it's just gone from there. It has been extremely uncomfortable but rewarding at the same time. There were times where I wanted to quit and give up and not share so much because people on the internet can be extremely cruel. You know, that's just how it is, but I know what God has called me to do. I know that He's called me to reach people in a way that, you know, isn't typical. So like, whether it's with a fashion post, whether it's with a skincare video, like He has called me to show people of His love and grace and mercy and favor and just who He is, and grow His kingdom in a way that others cannot. So yes, I am an influencer. Yes, there are a ton of influencers, but we all don't have this same purpose and we all don't have this same calling. So while mine is a business, I also have to report to a higher authority than myself, and then a lot of other things that other people have to report to. And then as things started to grow, as things started to grow, I started getting additional help. So I, from the beginning, have always been one to say, like, I'm not going to try to do everything. You know, with Marka, I was like, I'm not good at taking my own photos. I'm not one of those tripod type people. So I'm broke, but I need your help taking photos. So I was like, if there's any way that we could work around, if I shoot this many times a month, can I pay this? You know, all that kind of stuff. So everybody who I worked with, I was like, listen, I know where this is going and I know what God showed me, but I'm not there yet. So can we just find a way for you to help me and use your skill set to help, you know, plug and play and, you know, everybody benefit each other. So I had an event and I met Shay, and she reached out, and at the event she was like, I want to be an influencer, but I don't really know what all that, you know, entails. So can I just like come like watch you work? Can I shadow and just do stuff? But I know, you know, she was like, I watch your videos and I know you just don't want people just hanging around. So she was like, I can help out while I'm shadowing, you know, with whatever you might need then. So Shay and I started working together. Then I was able to finally pay Shay a couple coins. And it still was like chicken scratch. It was still like, I was like, I got $15. Can you help me do this? It was like really bad. Like when I think about it, I'm like, how did we make this work? And same with Marka. but I was like, this is what I have. Can I pay you this to help me out? And we started working together, which grew. And as things grew, I was able to pay her more and get her to leave certain other things and do all this stuff. And as things grow, I continue to just grow the team and get help where I can, because I don't want to be burnt out, because I know that I have a calling and I need longevity in this industry. So I know that I need to pace myself, and I know that I need help. So that's kind of what brought on the team. And yeah, and I've also seen a lot of influencers and people in this industry who do it all themselves, and they get burnt out really fast, because it is hard and it is a lot of work, and it is a lot of you know, there are days where like you're completely over it and sick of looking at trolls and people criticizing your life for choosing to share the things that you do. And to one person, it's the most amazing content and the best thing you could ever put out there, and it's blessed them so much and to change their entire life. But to somebody else, this is the stupidest thing you could have ever done. Why would you ever say that? You're an idiot, you know, threats and all that kind of stuff. So you really just have to learn how to get in the right headspace, how to have the right tribe around you of people to speak life into you, and to just be there for you through it all. Also, your family may also get messages and trolls and threats and stuff like that. So it's just been a journey, and as the internet grows, as social media grows, that grows too. So I think just being level-headed and having a grounding source. I don't know how any of these influencers who don't have a foundation and a source of life and refuge, not even just in Christ, but in something. I don't know how they do it, because it is so easy to be shaken in this industry, just because of all the other things that you have to deal with when choosing to share portions of your life. So that's it.
For perspective, and I think you put up the quote yesterday, like that was basically like, I outsourced blank 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 for my peace and sanity. But for an individual who's like new to influencing or doesn't understand how many roles actually go into the influencers that are like playing the one role, will you list off like potential jobs or roles that we as influencers play by ourselves, which is why you outsource? Because then I think I think they see it as like an influencer versus like you're
actually your own manager, you're your own legal rep because you have to read contracts, you're your own creative person, you're the photographer, the videographer, the assistant who needs to get props and set up and break down and clean up. I don't even know. There are hair, makeup, editing.
Mom influencers don't talk about
mom influencers.
But like,
listen. It's a whole different ball game when you have kids, because not only do you have to gauge what you put out there, so you have to have a whole different layer or filter on what you do, because not only does your work implement you or like, you know, affect you, it affects your spouse, your kids, because the stuff is staying there, you know what I mean? So you have to gauge that, and they require more attention, so you really can't do all the work. Like, I was working night and day because I had the time, and I knew where God was taking my business, and I knew what I was here to do and all that kind of stuff. So when I didn't have a family, I was like, I'm gonna have one day. I'm gonna work as hard as I can so that when I have a family, I can afford to do and have all the help that I need, so that I can be the mom and wife that I want to be, but also still run my business at the pace that I want to run it. And that was a lot of work. And it also was a mind shift when I had a family, because I was like, oh my God, like I'm so used to working when I want and being able to do stuff. So I had to like change my entire mindset. But when you're a mom influencer, it's a whole different ball game and so much more work. But it is rewarding as well. But yeah, there are a billion and gajillion one hats that one influencer either has to wear or has to get help on.
Looking back, what is one thing you would have changed about your journey? Like you wish you would have like either just done it?
Like as confident as I'm speaking about, like I know what God has called me to do. I know who he's called me to be. I know what he showed me, blah, blah, blah. There were days where I was like, this is stupid. You said that you would do this faster. I wish things would pop off faster than they would. And then there were also days where I let other people get into my head. And I think being, you know, back then it was like you were a specific niche influencer. You were beauty, you were skincare, you were fashion, whatever. And for me, I wanted to do it all. I was like, there's not one thing that I'm into. So like people were saying I'm all over the place and that, you know, I'm never gonna get anywhere because I'm just so, like, lifestyle wasn't a thing like it is now. Everybody is a lifestyle influencer. But it wasn't a thing. So people were saying I was all over the place and I was just making up stuff and I was copying people and doing all this stuff. And I really let them get into my head. And if I would have known what I know now, I would have never allowed that to happen, because I do believe that, you know, it made me question sometimes, and it made me second guess what I know God has called me to do. But of course, we're humans, so we let people's words and things get to us. And then even just with influencing not being a thing, when I stepped out and I was doing this, you know, there were people like, you just take pictures for a living. Oh, you just do this. That's not a real job. That's not a real, you know, she's just an Instagram girl. And now it's like a thing and everybody's trying to be it and do it. But back then it was discouraging, because it was like people just don't take me or what I do seriously. It was just, you know, something fun and I'm just doing it for an attention. She's an attention whore, all that kind of stuff. So I wish I would have not let that get into my head, because I feel like it would have eliminated a lot of sleepless nights and a lot of tears and things like that, and over explaining and trying to like convince people. Like, now I don't give a crap if you don't understand. Like, I don't care. First off, we collecting checks, we employing the family. Like, what are you gonna say? But I do wish that back then I didn't let that stuff get into my head, because I feel like it would have provided a lot more peace a lot sooner.
For the influencers now, or like, I guess starting out, or if you've already been an influencer but like struggling, like what are things you feel like you absolutely should invest in?
Help. And whatever that looks like to you. So for me, I knew that there were certain things that discouraged me by even trying. Like editing my videos, I knew that I couldn't skimp on that, because when I would try to do it myself, it would take me 10, 12, 2 days. It would take me so long to try to do it, and I would get so discouraged and frustrated, and that took away from the stuff that I knew I was good at. So for me, that wasn't an option. But for somebody else, like, if you're okay with editing and you can do that, maybe hire a photographer, maybe hire an assistant to help you think of creative ideas and get the props and be able to make the content what you really want to make it. You just don't have the time to do. I think it looks different for everybody. So I think maybe listing down those things that I love doing. These are the things that I don't love doing. These are the things that I absolutely hate doing. And then go from there to figure out where you need to invest the help, so that you can love your job and love what you do. Because the reality is, as an influencer, if you're not really into it, we can see that. And it's very, very clear. And the more that people want authentic and real content, like, which is where the world is right now, and it's going to continue to get that way, they can see right through it, and they can see right through you. They can see when, you know, you have those frustrated days, or when you didn't really want to shoot this but you did to just put something out. Like, we can see that. So I think just figuring out which parts do I enjoy, which parts do I not enjoy as much but I can still manage, and which things do I absolutely hate doing and I'm not good at. That too, because there's a lot of stuff we may think that we, you know, oh, I killed it, and it's like, no you didn't. And I think that's why I love the people I have around me, because they'll be like, ew, that was trash, toss it, do it again. And you want those type of people around you. Yeah, if you guys have additional influencer related questions, drop them in the comments below. I'll do a follow-up with answering you all's questions, so that might be a little bit easier, because I'm sure after having this, you guys may be like, oh, what if, or how did you feel about this? So drop any questions you guys have in the comments. I love you guys. Make sure you are following on Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. I'm on TikTok, y'all, and I'm really trying. And it took me a long time to get on, only because I'm not like that, like, I'm goofy, but I'm like dry humor type goofy. I'm not like, let me dance and do all this stuff, and like, that's just not me. So it took me a lot, because at first TikTok was people doing dances and all that kind of stuff, and I was just like, I'm not doing that. But now that I see more people kind of just living their life and sharing things that they love in an authentic way, I like it a lot more. So I'm on there a bit more. So make sure you guys are following there too. I love you guys. Have an amazing day, rest of the day, whenever you watch this. Make sure you guys are doing what you're called to do, and be confident in it, even if it doesn't make sense to other people. Still do it. Still love it. What other people think doesn't matter. That's it. Goodbye.